I think we've accepted ephemerality with two open arms. The sentiment or the idea that nothing is forever. That is not necessarily to say that we should somehow resist entropy and how things fall apart just as time continues. But I feel like some of us have overcorrected. I have a book that was printed before 1950. It is a small workman's journal that I use to work on some documents so that information incomprehensible in the college is readable to all of you. And it is a small little thing, leather bound, only around 75 pages at most. It is meant to fit in your pocket. It's a little pocket book. It has maps of the world, it has spots for journaling, it has everything that you need out of your day planner, except printed before the Cold War. And touching it in my hands, holding it, I can't help but feel about how delicate it is. The spine, when I run my pointer finger across the spine, I can feel the leather flaking. I'm very, very careful, very, very ginger. Even in the gloves I'm wearing, I'm very ginger with this item, this artifact. I needed something vintage, something retro to represent me because the entire space around me is vintage. And I found it important to do that because of verisimilitude, of kayfabe, etc., etc. But holding this artifact in my hands, I realized that somebody kept this. I'm not going to dox who owned it previously, but whoever it was is probably dead, as is their wife. Maybe their kids. It's a very old person. Whoever owned this kept it. Whether it be for sentimental value or because they knew that it'd be meaningful someday, they kept this thing. And we're a lot of us are very, very excited to let go, to toss, to throw away things that do not serve us. You might not be like me in this way. Maybe you're more sentimental than I am. But I tend to do a bit of a purge of things in my ownership every couple of years, if only because I don't have the room for it all anymore. This isn't metaphor. This isn't purging my inner emotional state of thoughts. I'm not talking about ego death here. I'm talking about literally a big collection of boxes for old video games and such. Putting in deep storage all my achievements from the past 5 or 10 years. I discard them, really, but we ought to hold those things. This is almost metaphor. I was doing some spring cleaning, and I found a whole bunch of guff, some trash, and I realized that I am incredibly precious about the wrong things. In this box, during my spring cleaning, I had saved from no less than 10 years ago a full ream of colored paper, of neon yellow colored paper, nearly half a ream of printed graph paper. And that's not to say graph paper that comes in spiral notebooks, but to say graph paper that you have to send through a color printer or an inkjet printer to get out. Essentially stuff I've made. Kept it because I thought I would use it someday. That it would be valuable to me. I donated the paper to the library. We'll see what they do with that. Maybe the memos in the library of my college will be yellow from here on. Why did I keep it in the first place? I think in part because I thought I would use it, and the utility I have for an object ends completely on use, but I think we should be more comfortable looking through our things and going, how do I still have this? How do I still have this artifact of my life? Where did it come from? Where did I put it away? And why is it still here? The thing is, the difference between objects and junk is that it's only junk if you don't treasure it. I had this really wonderful bunny sweater. It was pink with white shoulders. The hood was white. There was a cute little bunny at the breast. The ends of the drawstrings were carrots. It was a gift from an old friend. I tried to make a point of throwing out anything that I hadn't worn the past 4 years, or put it into deep storage. This item was something that I threw out, and the immediate remorse I felt after throwing it. And picking up that ream of paper again, the one that I found cleaning my house, my dormitory, and thinking, how do I still have this? But I threw out that wonderful gift someone had given me. Sure, they didn't make it with their hands. I might have been more careful about it if they had. But ultimately, it was an expression of their love and care of me. And forgetting myself, forgetting it, I treated it like trash when it wasn't. And I miss it. I miss it a lot. I wonder if you've ever done something that makes you feel like you're doing the right thing or doing the medicinal thing, and afterwards you realize you've accidentally hurt yourself. No, I think I need to be more precious about the right things. I need to be more sentimental, and I need to be less of a doomsday planner. I have so much stationery. It makes sense, right? The nerd that I am, I have so much stationery left over. I haven't needed to buy pencils in the last 2 decades because the fruits of my labor left me with more than I could ever need. I have staples for a very, very long time. Gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I could be Ariel from The Little Mermaid. But I wonder how long it's going to take for me to get over that. I threw out that sweater that still fit, albeit tightly. I wonder when the remorse goes away, or if it ever does. If this is going to be so aversive for me that I'm not going to throw anything ever again. No, I'm still pretty free about clearing my space up, but the responsibility I have to the things that I will miss has increased since then. I don't want to make that mistake again. And I don't want to ask myself in righteous curiosity why I still have something. Ding ding ding, 10 minutes.